Was crack-a-lack and muddy truckers. I'm Josh Moody. Oh my God, that's not true. I've lied to you already. Okay, that's my real name. That's okay. I've been telling it to you for a year. I'm Professor Violence. That's your sleepless shark. We are making picks today. Hey, yo, John, how you living?
Large. Living large. Thanks. Had a great UFC 287 card, and I'm gonna keep bringing you more today for this weekend.
I love it. I love it. I love
I
it.
love it. Izzy was pretty genius. I thought. I did see. I got texts and I saw online that people were like, "Oh man, Pereira was beating him up before that." But I mean, Izzy. I thought Izzy won the first round, and every judge gave Izzy the first round, so I thought he was doing well. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was getting his ass kicked. I don't know if he got hurt in the second round or he said he was playing possum a little bit. I think he did. I think it was really smart because he knew that Pereira would have to come. That's just his style, and if he hurts him, he's just going to come forward and try to knock him out. And he clipped him. That I never seen like the second shot was way less than the first, but it just completely like put him out. Do you know what happened there? Like, is that like he was just like he was like just that just that little bit of not going to sleep, and then that little bit that's it, done. Just knocked him out like a ton of bricks. He just fell. Yeah, I mean that dude got knocked the fuck out, Friday style. That was
the first watch. I thought that Izzy was in trouble when he was backing up. On the second watch, I had this vibe, this feeling that it was a rope-a-dope, right? That it was like a Muhammad type thing. I didn't hear that he was playing possum, but I felt that, so I'm not surprised to hear him say that. Yeah, I think Izzy looked pretty good. My striking coach has referenced the fight a couple times in the last week, and he's not the kind of person who watches fights over and over, so it left a pretty big impact on someone who understands the game pretty well.
Yeah.
But honestly, I had so many, like, I want to go back and watch the Rob Font fight 40 times. And I'm really interested in talking about the Game Bread fight, just because I want to talk about Game Bread in general. Like, so for me, like, the fight happened and like, oh yeah, Izzy won. Cool. Let's see where that goes. Looks like they're probably going to do a trilogy. That was fast. Like, but I don't know. I'm impressed that he can come back and knock out a guy that beat him 3 times already.
I thought the way he did it was impressive. He really set him up well. And I mean, that was I didn't think the fight was going to go the distance one way or another. I thought Izzy had to do that and was going to try to do that, and he did, and he succeeded. I didn't think. Yeah, I don't think it favors him trying to go to later rounds with Pereira. I just don't. I think he just has to get a jump on him. I don't know if they'll fight again down the road. Maybe. I don't think they're going to do a trilogy right away.
Really? Why wouldn't they?
No, I don't. I don't think anybody wants to see them fight again this soon, especially just in MMA. I think someone else gets a. I think.
Who else would you have fight?
I don't. Has there ever been? Did Moreno and Figueiredo do a trilogy for the title 3 times in a row, or did they had fights in between? Right?
No.
I'm pretty sure somebody fought somebody in between.
Oh yeah, Moreno fought one person in between.
They both did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I don't think they've ever ran a trilogy back to back for the belt ever.
Moreno and Figueiredo 4 times.
4, but it was never 3 in a row. I don't think.
It was 4 in a row.
No, they fought before that. But they had other fights before that. They were never just booked to fight each other.
They fought for the title, and it was a draw.
Yeah.
And then fought for the title, and Moreno won.
You're right, and then Figueiredo, and then
fought for the title.
But they had fights before that. You know, they all had fights in between. I'm pretty sure Figueiredo fought.
Yeah, there was the Alex. There was
Alex
The
Perez, Moreno fought two guys, I think, in between. He fought Kai Kara and somebody else. I think they all, yeah, like, I don't think they do that. I don't think you run 3 title fights, the same guys, because it just, I don't know, kind of loses interest. I mean, actually, no, here's a good example. They are doing it because isn't Amanda fighting Juliana Pena?
Stipe did it.
Not 3 consecutive times, though, I don't think.
Stipe
Same guy, both opponents.
Stipe fought DC 3 times in a row.
And no one fought anyone else.
No, DC fought other people. Stipe
that's what I'm saying. They don't both players, but I think Amanda and one person was the champ. I think so. Someone had to take a fight in between. Like you had to see them fight someone else. Like I don't know if they do that, but I think they are. I think Amanda is fighting Juliana Pena. And it's the three times in a row each, and no one's had anyone else in between. So I guess it's a new thing. Maybe they will do it, but I don't think so. I think someone else in the division gets a fight. I think I don't know, Vittori and Pereira makes sense. Robert Whitaker versus Pereira makes sense. I don't know.
But so Pereira's the one who needs to take time off.
And he might go light heavyweight. He might not fight in the division again.
The important thing is what is he doing?
I don't know. Probably taking some time off.
There's nothing for Izzy to do.
I think he'll fight again this year.
Who would he fight?
Oh, they're gonna have to figure it out. But
no, I'm asking you right now. Who else could Izzy fight? Because this is priority number 1. It's not what can Pereira do. It's what does Izzy do?
He says, maybe fight. Maybe somebody comes up, takes a crack at him. Maybe like Hamzat. I don't know, wants to fight at 185.
Not beat anybody in the top 15 or top 10.
Yeah, but they'll do it because it's a huge draw of a fight. Maybe Usman would go up, I think, even though his star kind of dwindled a little bit.
But still a week ago.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, he didn't. Okay.
He just lost the belt. Yeah. So his star is a little bit different, but it would still be a huge fight that would sell. Like
Usman and Izzy specifically said they wouldn't fight each other.
That makes sense. Then maybe, yeah. No, I'm saying something like that. Maybe somebody cuts to 185 or goes up to 185 to make like a super like a pay-per-view, just a fight with no belt on the line or something. Maybe the belt would be on the line, but maybe somebody from another division.
Okay, so let me ask you a different question. What's the biggest fight that Izzy can make right now?
Versus Josh Moody in November. I think that would be the biggest fight. Yeah. That would be the biggest draw.
Yep. We're going to play kick volleyball. Terrible volleyball, terrible at kicking ball. It's going to be awful. We're going to do the MMA where you tie your hands together.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb. There's nobody else for Izzy to fight.
No.
That's the biggest fight by a large margin for them to make. And it's the only time we've really seen Izzy tested.
Who the fuck wants it? I don't want to watch it again right away. It'll sell because it's Izzy.
Nothing else is the point. There's nothing else.
There's something else. It's just what road how do they want to do? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
If you wait a year.
No, I think he fights in November. December. Yeah, I hope so.
This card coming up, we have Max Holloway versus we have the UFC Fight Night.
Kansas City.
Yeah. Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen.
Yeah, there's some great scraps on this card. Looking forward. This is a really good fight night card. And they usually do when there's a crowd. They usually have a better card than the Apex one. But this one's gonna have some. It's gonna have some action fights. Any hidden gems you see for this week?
So there's a couple fights on here that didn't quite make sense to me. Really briefly, Ed Herman versus Zach Cummings.
Yeah.
Zach Cummings is a pretty big favorite.
I've seen Ed Herman's fights, but I don't know anything about Zach Cummings.
Just like Styles makes fights is a real thing. But just looking at stats, they're both almost 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're 42, right? So they're both on the older side.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach Cummings has fights in the UFC at 170 pounds and has taken 3, maybe almost 4 years off since his last fight. His last fight was what is that? August of 2020.
Mm.
Right? And now he's coming back up a weight class. Like that just rings fat old man to me. And I hope he isn't. I hope he took all that time off to do TRT and he comes back huge. But like why is he going up in weight class worries me. Especially when he was a welterweight at one point. Right? If he was a guy who was struggling middleweight forever, I'd be like, oh, okay, you're finally going up to light heavyweight. Like Ed Herman went up to light heavyweight a decade ago.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here? So that's the first one that I kind of want to shine some light on. Doesn't make sense to me that Zach Cummings is as big of a favorite as he is.
No.
It might make sense to put some money on Ed Herman or put this, I guess, in a parlay. Is that what you do?
No, you would just bet that straight. I mean, the parlay will get crazy payout, but if you have a big underdog like that, I mean, you want to hit the majority, the bulk of the bet, your money on just straight up Ed Herman. Yeah, hopefully he's not washed up, or anything. Like, I guess that's kind of why the line is like that. But I mean, the other guy's not too far off, like you're saying. So yeah. It could be just a really bad line.
The other thing that I wanted to briefly touch on. Now, Jocelyn Edwards versus Lucy Pudilova.
Mm-hmm.
Pudilova's victories are not over very good opposition. She's mostly lost in the UFC. So that one does not look as even as the odds have it listed.
Yeah.
But what I think really deserves time is Gaston Bolanos versus Aaron Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Gaston Bolanos is a really elite striker who's been working. He was raised by the best Muay Thai coach in the country.
Mm-hmm.
When he was like 12 years old, he moved from South America here and moved in with this Muay Thai coach and has been fighting since he was like 14 or 15 professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 30 now. Fought in Bellator for the majority of his fights, had a couple of losses because he's not the greatest grappler, but he is as elite a striker as elite striking comes.
Wow. Okay.
He has like 4 or 5 spinning back elbow knockouts, which is just insane. He does them on the counter. He does them against the fence. He does them all the time. It's crazy. So I'm really excited that he's about to move into the UFC. Now his opponent, Aaron Phillips, he's 0-4 in the UFC. He's 0-3 in the UFC. He's been in the UFC. This is his second stint in the UFC. All 3 of his opponents are like decent opponents. Sam Cecilia's a decent opponent. Matt the Crowbar Hobart was a decent opponent. Jack Shore is very good, but he's never won a fight in the UFC. He's also got a loss to Chris Gutierrez outside the UFC. And all of his victories are unimpressive to say the least. And the rest of them are over cans. Like when he was 8-3, after his stint in the UFC, after he got cut from the UFC, he fought someone who was 0-1. That's not okay. That's not okay. And it was for a local Louisiana promotion. All of his fights in between the first UFC stint and the second UFC stint were for this local promotion, which to me means he's buddies with the promoter or he runs the promotion, and they gave really, really, really carefully picked fights that he could win. This is not. I would be very surprised if Gaston Bolanos loses this fight.
Wow, that's him still. Like, I think Gaston's like minus 200, but it sounds like he should be way bigger in this. Does anything have to do with the weight, like you mentioned in the Ed Herman fight? Like it looks like Gaston Bolanos is fighting bigger.
It's coming down. Gaston Bolanos is coming down to 135.
So he's coming down. Okay, right. Bantamweight's bigger.
That doesn't surprise me. That's pretty common. It it worries me that he's doing that for his first UFC fight, but it's not uncommon at all for like my regional weight is 100 would be 185 pounds. What my UFC weight probably wouldn't be 185 pounds. Like I can walk around at 195 pounds. Like that would make me like Kevin Holland, right? Like the Kevin Holland kind of guys were always struggling at 190 or at 185. You see him go down to 170, and you're like, "Oh, you're really big," and it's a little easier for him, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty common to see guys go down in weight when they make it to the UFC.
Okay.
But I don't love that he's doing it for his first UFC fight. I wouldn't hang my hat on that. I wouldn't not bet on it because of that. But anything else you want to say on that fight?
No, I'm ready for. No, I'm nothing on that. If I had something that stuck out, not worth like going into detail about, but I wouldn't go crazy on Bruna Brasil. Not that impressed overall, and Denise Gomez is a pretty good scrapper with 2 fights under her belt, but she fought Loma and she fought pretty good. She's not. I feel like her activity and her power are better than what I've seen out of Bruna. And Daniel Zaluber, 7-inch reach advantage. Lando Venata's moving up to lightweight to give him a fight. The fight's a pick 'em. I'm still pretty big on Daniel Zaluber. I know he just stunk his last fight. He was a big favorite. He stunk. He got beat by Trey Ogden, who's not highly regarded, but I think Zaluber should win this fight. Being that Lando's a wrestler, but he's moving up to fight Zaluber, who's got good takedown defense and just has that reach advantage and is a good striker. So they stick out. But no, let's get to this main card. I think it's 6 fights, or is it 7 fights?
I don't think they do 7-fight main cards. This is a 6-fight main card. Clay Guida versus Rafa Garcia.
Right, Rafa and Clay Guida. Yeah, I'm excited for this. You're going to see I think you'll see some really good wrestling, really good transitions. Clay Guida's got fucking 60 pro fights. That's retarded. 60 pro fights. Wow. And he's still going. Yeah. Rafa Garcia's got that. He doesn't have his gas tank issues were what people were saying might get him. But he's moved past that. He was a highly regarded prospect, and he had some letdown moments, letdown fights. He's lost as a big favorite, and they're questioning his cardio, his this, his that. But he seems to have fixed things to me. I think this is going to be a good fight. I don't think anyone's that much better in the striking department. Maybe Garcia's a little quicker. He's obviously going to be younger. But I do like his wrestling and his ability to wrestle and maintain top control without putting himself in much danger. I think Clay Guida, we've seen his upset wins were pretty opportunistic. Fell into some submissions that went his way, but I think Garcia gets the job done. Not betting it, but I like Garcia. Stay in the winning ways.
Do you think Clay Guida can take down Rafa Garcia?
I think he can. Will he, or does he keep him down? Because I've seen Rafa. He seems like he pops right back up. He's put together some really good fights. Even his loss against Drakkar close, but he didn't do. He was in that fight. Yeah, I think he can take him down, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do damage.
Man, almost nobody has taken down Clay Guida. Damn, Clay Guida's been in the UFC forever. No, this guy is not going to submit Clay Guida.
No, I don't. He's not a submission guy. He's more of a safe ground and pound hold the position. He's not.
Yeah, and you're not doing that to Clay Guida.
Which is fine. Which is fine with Garcia because he's not. He doesn't mind. Just keeps chain wrestling, getting up, strikes, takedowns. That's his style. Which might.
Yeah,
fit, which,
Clay Guida doesn't mind a constant wrestling match.
No.
And if Rafa Garcia has any sort of cardio issues, then what I have to say is, John, thank you for the free win.
They've shown up in his career. Yeah, he doesn't get finished. He doesn't get finished, but he's
the king of cardio. Like his number one weapon is wrestling. His number two weapon is cardio, and then his number three weapon is his fists.
Then we got Then you better take that plus 180 and the Carpenter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Garcia outmatches him, but I think it's close. But I'm not. I don't think there's a bet here. I don't know if I can. I can't really trust either guy, but I'll look more into Guida now that you mentioned it, but I wasn't planning on it before. All right.
Your next fight is Pedro, the young Punisher Munoz versus El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Gutierrez, even before the Frankie fight, I mean, he's been looking good to me. I've been following all his fights. I mean, he's winning. He's looking good out there. This is Pedro Munoz. I mean, I think Pedro Munoz is a high ranking, right, in the division still?
Repeat that question.
Does Pedro Munoz has a high ranking in the division still? Is he in the top 10?
No. I don't think so. I'll check.
So I don't get this fight then. I don't. Yeah, Munoz.
Well, Munoz is 1-4 in his last 5.
Yeah.
Munoz is number 15. Gutierrez is number 13.
Okay, so
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I was wondering how they fell into this thing. So Pedro Munoz is like downswinging. He was in the top 10, and then he hasn't done that. He's trying to get some losses. Decision loss. Oh yeah, the Frankie had
champions in his last 5 fights,
and
he beat the one guy that wasn't a world champion.
Yeah, Jimmy Rivera. It was tough too. Yeah, I didn't get much out of the O'Malley fight. Like that was such a boring first round until the eye poke. Munoz did well in that round, but O'Malley didn't really open up yet. It didn't really tell us much about where Pedro Munoz is. But he is. I mean, he's going to decision with really good guys. Dom Cruz. He did win the first round against Dom Cruz, but then Dom Cruz was able to skate around him for a while. Aldo fight. I remember the Frankie one and thought that was like controversial. Or people thought that Munoz won, but man, I don't know. I think these guys are pretty evenly matched. I think it's going to be a lot of striking. I always heard a lot of good things about Pedro Munoz's wrestling and his jiu-jitsu, but I don't really think he uses that. I thought that would have been his ace in the hole to try to beat O'Malley, but we didn't get to see him do that either. So nothing tells me that he's going to comfortably take Gutierrez down. So I think Gutierrez is going to be slicker, faster. Gutierrez is lightning fast. Did he look really fast against Frankie? Yes, but I mean, he's fast. I think Gutierrez wins, but decision. Not betting it, but
yeah, I also have this feeling that Gutierrez is on his way up. I don't know enough about him. I feel like I should really dig into his career a little bit more. He's got 8 UFC fights, and I have not seen it up with them. But he's looking really good against Frankie. So I want to see more of what he can do. But yeah, see, I don't even really recognize most of the names of the guys he's fought. Like I know I know Andre Ewell. He's been in the UFC since 2018, and like I don't even know most people he fought. but I have this suspicion that he's going to be the one to win this fight. That being said, Pedro Munoz is very well respected, American top team, like coach level respected, not just guy around the gym.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's not going to be some easy guy to finish. I don't expect this fight to be a finish, but I think this is going to be good for Chris Gutierrez's development.
I like it.
Tanner Boser versus Ion Cutelaba.
Yeah, what about this light heavyweight scrap? I mean, what I've seen from Tanner Boser, I think I talked about Tanner Boser last time. Like he fights heavyweight, light heavyweight. I think mostly heavyweight, but he doesn't have power of a heavyweight to me. He's just not a heavy hitter. With that being said, I mean Ion fights one way, and he's got to beat you the first round. It looks like, or he's not gonna. He's not the same guy afterwards. So I guess that kind of just plays into here as well. As I know, like his cardio is an issue. I know Tanner Boser has good cardio for a big guy, and the right kind of cardio to survive an onslaught, and then just pick you apart in the second and third rounds. Being that he doesn't have that great of a power, I mean, I think that gives Cutelaba going to be less fearless. He's going to try to get him out in the first round. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Tanner Boser gets finished too often in his losses. He's pretty durable. So man, yeah, I don't have any bets on this fight, and it is a pick'em, so it's pretty tough either way. I think you can bet when the props come out. Cutelaba to win in round one, I think, would be a decent prop. And after that, I don't know. Maybe if you want to watch the fight live, see how the first round goes. If it gets out in the first round, and I think it heavily favors Tanner Boser because Cutelaba is not a 3-round fighter. He's a 1-round guy.
Cutelaba has been working with Extreme Couture, so I would expect that things like energy management would be much more under control. Those would be one of the first things that they'd be trying to fix in a fighter like that. Mm-hmm. Tanner Boser, on multiple occasions, I've heard him say that going down to light heavyweight would be stupid. Like, he's 230 pounds. He's always been like, he's always been small enough that he should have been a light heavyweight. And I've heard him say in multiple interviews that he would never go down to light heavyweight. Right? So what happened? Did he get a wake-up call, or is he desperate? Does he no longer think he can compete with heavyweights? How's his confidence? The reason he was really good at heavyweight was because he was so much faster than everybody. But then actually, when you look at the wins that he had, some of those wins were over light heavyweights who happened to be competing at heavyweight.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, like, what's he going to look like when he has to cut weight? Is he going to be so much faster than all those guys? What's he going to look like against guys who are smaller? Is he going to be faster than those guys?
Mm-hmm.
That cardio that he has, was that just because he wasn't cutting weight?
Mm-hmm.
So there's too many question marks for me for Tanner Boser. And I just love me some Cutelaba. So let's go Cutelaba.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to see him get back in the win column. But yeah, I think this fight is definitely if you're watching the fights, I think this is a good one to watch live and see if it gets out of the first round or not. And if the price is good when it comes out, like if you can get a good price on Cutelaba round one, take it. If you just want to sweat, because he's always live for a finish early. All right, moving on. Another light heavyweight fight. Dustin the Haniak Jacoby, Azamat Mirzakhanov, the professional. I've talked about Azamat before, actually. I just don't know what to make of the guy. He's got like no fight. He's 34 years old, and once he have 12 fights. That's not a lot on your pro record. Um, Super unimpressed by his Tafan and Chukwi fight. I mean, he was fucking getting his ass kicked for 2.5 rounds, and he luckily found a finish in the third round with a flying knee. Um, he did. I would. He definitely fought guys with winning records. Um, he did knock out Mateus Scheffel in the Contender Series, and
Andre Mooney.
Mateus Scheffel actually won the PFL last year. So Mateus Scheffel has been fighting. Is a good fighter. He beat guys. I mean, he just looks so bad in Chugli fight, and then he goes out and he fucking knocks out Devin Clark, who was favored. He's coming into this as pretty big underdog. Dustin Jacoby's like minus 250. I see. Wow, it's minus 250, minus 205, minus 215. Minus 250 is pretty high. Maybe he should be about minus 210. I mean, Dustin Jacoby should be the favorite in my opinion. He's got a fucking 7-inch reach advantage. He's a good striker. From what I saw about Azamat in Chukwi fight, he had a lot of trouble when in Chukwi he just couldn't figure out in Chukwi, mainly because of the reach. So that's going to be here again, and I still think. I mean, I think Jacoby should be able to pot shot his way to a victory here.
So I worked with Azamat a very little bit, and I was super impressed with his wrestling.
Mm.
But he has
doesn't use. Does he use? I don't even see him use it.
And his takedown defense is 0%, which must mean that nobody's trying to shoot on him.
No.
He fought Devin Clark. Devin Clark must have shot on him.
Well, I think he got knocked out early.
That was round 3.
Oh, yeah. Round 3?
Clark never tried to shoot on him.
I think I don't know if I remember. Was Devin Clark having success though in that fight? I forget exactly. I think he was winning, like striking. I'm not sure. Maybe he was getting. I forget.
Azamat attempted 5 takedowns against Tafan and Chukwi and only got 1.
Yeah,
he attempted 7 takedowns in the UFC and only gotten 1 of them.
Maybe he was just had a bad day against Chukwi.
Which might just be me talking about how bad my wrestling is. But also, that's strange. But he gets, I don't know, man. There's a big height disparity. There's a bigger reach disparity.
Which does mean if he wants to wrestle, he should be able to get closer to Jacoby's legs because he's smaller. But, yeah, I don't know. Jacoby's got pretty good takedown defense from what I've seen, and he gets up pretty good too. Kutalaba got him down a few times. I think that was a good fight, but he was able to get back up. I don't see a lot of scary things out of Azamat. So I mean, I'm not betting it, but I think Jacoby's pretty solid. Maybe you could throw him in a parlay. I think he does. I think he wins this fight a lot more than minus 200.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about Azamat, but now I'm thinking Dustin Jacoby is the right way to go.
Dustin Jacoby, yeah, he does have he knocked out Donald Young. That was a good win. And then he did, but still, yeah, tough fight. Not crazy, but I think it'll be pretty good. But this one's going to be good. Co-main event. We got Edson Barboza, Billy Q coming out. Billy Q, you gotta love Billy Q. He's just fucking all that. I like Billy Q. He is, talk about a cardio king. He just goes. Who did he lose to? Oh, that's right. He lost to Shane Burgos after that was a fucking 6 scrap too. Billy Q won that first round, but he couldn't get out of there. That's a good fight. Then he knocked out Alexander Hernandez. Same Alexander Hernandez, yeah, who had a shot, but Billy Q just got him. Yeah, man.
Same beating.
So Edson hasn't fought since the Bryce Mitchell. I feel like Edson is. I don't know. He's old now. He's 37. Edson was never the same.
At 145 pounds, that might as well be 60.
Yeah.
Very old at that weight.
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah. So Billy Q's like minus 175 as a favorite. I'm questioning why he's the favorite in this fight.
Because
Edson Barbosa is like Billy Q's really come forward. Edson Barbosa has the devastating like low calf kicks, leg kicks, and he's got
Barbosa.
And you gotta take him down.
Nope.
Take him down, hold him down. He's never been the same after the Khabib fight, in my opinion. Like he just struggles with wrestling.
No, it's not wrestling he struggles with. It's pressure he struggles with. He struggles with people pushing him backwards, especially if they push him to the cage. He can't reset. He can't reset and establish his base fast enough to deliver the kind of offense he needs to make his game work.
But he did that against. It worked against Burgos, who's always come forward. That was a sick fight, though.
Yeah,
is that like one exception. Like one exception.
Yeah, kind of. But if you look at the people who beat him, they all pressured him really hard, and they followed more or less the same game plan. But some of them, like Gaethje, outstruck him. Like you can beat Edson Barbosa on the feet if you pressure him, but if you give him space to work, he will annihilate you with kicks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is. I'm pretty confident that Billy Q is going to win this fight.
Yeah, I mean, after you say it like that, I guess I'm sold. I was kind of thinking, like, yeah, Edson has a 5-inch reach with the hands and a 3-inch reach with his legs, which is pretty big. But I think the thing is, I don't know, like, what version of Edson is this? He looked like he just didn't want to be there against Bryce Mitchell to me. I mean, I've seen, but I have seen him when he's down in wrestling though. After the Khabib fight, he's just not the same guy. He just doesn't want to get beat up. Basically, like he just doesn't want to get whatever. I don't know. It's like if it's mental or what. He's
changed camps
after the last fight.
No. Like around the Khabib fight.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of fights since then. I mean, the Giga.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm telling you is that it's not. Khabib didn't change him. Like Marlon changed at the same time. At the same time that Edson changed, Marlon changed. Why? Because Edson and Marlon moved gyms together.
Okay, but that's not like that. I'm the same. Like he's not. I don't see that same killer or that same guy that like after that fight when he faces a wrestler in the cage. I don't know if changing gyms has anything to do with that. Like
a ton.
But why though?
Because what you're going to run into, the coaching you're going to deal with, why does crowd noise? Why does crowd noise affect a player?
It slows down your train of thought. You're focused on the noise instead of what's going on in front of you.
It messes with your head.
Yeah.
Bad coaching messes with your head. Good coaching messes with your head.
I think getting hit 100 times by Khabib messes with your head and not being able to get up more than that.
Dude, but like it's no. Khabib's done that to so many people. I don't think Khabib changed Barbosa. I
don't know. When that fight, I remember Barbosa's look on his face was like, "What the fuck is going on here? Why can't I get up against this guy?" And it looks like when someone's trying to wrestle and administer ground and pound on him, he's just full guard, hang on for dear life, and get me the fuck to the next round.
I mean, Kevin Lee did it worse.
I don't remember that one, but
Khabib hit Edson 89 times. Kevin Lee hit him 142.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Khabib did it for 3 rounds. Kevin Lee did it for 5.
Wow.
And then Justin Gaethje also beat the shit out of him. And remember, right after this, he beat the ever-living shit out of Dan Hooker. Like right after the Khabib and the Kevin Lee losses, he came back
I remember the Ige. I don't remember that one. I remember the Ige fight. Pressure wrestling. Murakami pressure. Murakami is first round fighter only, though we know that he couldn't get him out of there. The Burgos fight went his way. Knocked out Burgos. Burgos' chin finally failed him. But Burgos is kind of
one guy that beat him, where it was like, oh, you didn't follow the game plan.
Maybe.
Okay.
The Giga fight. Yeah, I expect a little more out of Edson in that fight, and then he just looked like he didn't want to be there against Bryce Mitchell. He's 37. I don't know. Kind of think like he's. I don't know. Maybe it's just not. Maybe he should be the underdog here. Maybe there's not much. Maybe Billy Q should be a higher favorite. I'm thinking now, if that's all. Now, Edson Barbosa is a great striker. If he gets comfortable, he can
Absolutely.
still.
He is a great striker.
Yeah, he can still hurt Billy Q.
Right.
But
he was allergic to pressure before Khabib. He was allergic to pressure after Khabib. He's a very good grappler. Very good grappler. I personally know people that he was training with. The gym I was training at in New Jersey is where he trained at in New Jersey.
I've heard from people at that gym too. Yeah, that's great grappler.
Deal with pressure.
You're right about that. All right, so we got Billy Q by decision.
Maybe decision. Maybe finish. Who knows? Maybe. All right, main event.
Yeah.
Holloway versus the almighty Arnold Allen.
I think there's a lot of good questions, and they're going to go 5 rounds. There's a lot of questions in this fight that are going to get answered. Like, number one, I mean, is Max Holloway done? Is he not the same guy? I mean, we're only a couple fights removed from when he was really good against Calvin Kattar, and then he had a really good fight against Yair, who's now holding an interim belt. And he was able to beat Yair, do a lot of things. He got some takedowns in there. Max Holloway's still pretty young. He's only 31. He's just been around a long time. The Volkanovski, yeah, I mean, but he was not competitive against Volkanovski. He just really got out. First time I ever seen him really get outstruck. Like, you think he's declining a little bit? Maybe like things are starting to catch up to him.
I mean, I'm sure he's declining a little bit, but I also think that, I mean, but it'll be almost a year since that last fight, and he did take one of the worst beatings of his life in that fight. That and probably the Poirier fight. Yeah, that and the Poirier fight are the worst beatings he's taken. But no, man, I don't think he's done at all. Like, he's taking a lot of damage because he's got a really aggressive style.
Yeah, he does.
But I don't think he's shop worn. Like you said, he's only 31 years old.
Yeah. Maybe if he was like 35 plus, maybe I would start to think that'd be more of a factor. But yeah, he's still a pretty young dude. He's had the belt.
I think if he was going to fall off, he would have fallen off before the third Volkanovski fight. I don't think, or he could fall off right here.
Yeah, I mean, Arnold Allen is he's only a couple years younger, but I mean, I like me some Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen, I've seen 19-1, and yeah, I don't. This guy wins. There's not huge names on his record, but he can win a fight in many ways, any style. So I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen out of Arnold Allen. I think he's ready for the step up of competition, being that he got finishing wins over Dan Hooker and Calvin Kattar. So I think he's ready for it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he's going to react to that style. Like, Max is going to be the best best striker he's ever faced. I think, but Dan Hooker's a really good striker too. They went to war though in that fight, and he knocked Dan Hooker the fuck out. But they just threw down. It was a great scrap for what it lasted. He just got the better Dan Hooker. Max is smarter than that. I've never seen him lose his cool like that and just go where someone's knocking somebody out. He's gonna come forward and pressure, but he's not. He's very smart. I don't know, but I know Arnold Allen can do things. He can wrestle. He can do a lot. Max Holloway's. When's the last time he fought a guy that was gonna try to get takedowns steadily if it's not going his way? Like Volks doesn't shoot often. The 3 fights of Volk, Calvin Cater, I was all striking. Yair all striking. Max got the takedowns. Jesus, Frankie Edgar, you got to go back to 2019.
Yeah,
somebody want to wrestle. Yeah, the Ortega fight was that was a great performance out of him. It's been a long time since I fought a guy like this.
Probably Oliveira, maybe Ricardo Lamas, but Lamas didn't even try.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I think Max should be the favorite still, but I don't know. I think it's a 5-round fight though. Max has gone 5 plenty of times. It's the first time Arnold Allen's going to have to go 5 rounds. I don't know. I would say bet Allen or pass, but I'm not confident really.
What if Arnold Allen finishes Max Holloway?
Then he's fighting for the belt next.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get the title shot after Yair and Volk for sure. Yeah.
I like Arnold Allen. I don't think I understand him though. One of the things I like about him is that he doesn't fight very often, which seems kind of weird. Like he fought twice last year.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, he basically fights once a year for the whole time he's been in the UFC. Fought a little more frequently before that. But I think he plugs along pretty steadily, and it gives him a lot of time to develop in between fights. And I think that's something that people take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some really good wins on his record here. Makwan Amirkhani is a pretty good win. Mads Burnell is a good win. Gilbert Melendez is a former world champion. Nick Lentz is insanely experienced.
Yeah, Nick Lentz is always tough.
Is still a hot prospect. That fight was 2 years ago now. 2 years ago to the day. Dan Hooker is going to contend for a title at some point, just on sheer I've fought everyone and you can't deny me anymore. Even if he loses a couple more along the way, eventually Dan Hooker's fighting for a title. And Calvin Cater, dude, he's fought some bad motherfuckers. I don't expect 1.3 takedowns per 15 minutes. Max's takedown defense is 84%. I don't expect the takedown to be a real big issue. I don't think that's Arnold Allen's plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see who he's taken down. He's working with some of the best game planners, in Firas Zahabi. Yeah, nope. I'm not super worried about him taking him down. This is going to be on the feet. And as long as it stays on the feet, I don't think that Arnold Allen can keep up with the onslaught of Max Holloway. Specifically, what I'm looking at is Arnold Allen works at about 3.5 strikes per minute and gets hit about 2.25. which is actually that's pretty low. 2.25 is pretty low. 3.5 is pretty average. Max Holloway works at 7.25 landed per minute and almost 5 absorbed. He basically wants to get him more than double the speed that Arnold Allen wants to fight at. And I don't know what Arnold Allen's going to do to combat that. Because if I dictate the speed that we fight at, I dictate how tired I get, and I dictate how tired you get. And that's a really important thing. Like, dictating the pace of a fight is just, it's more important than having a good head kick. I can have sloppy if I can dictate the pace of a fight, my weapons can be sloppy, and I can still be effective. Does that make sense?
Of course.
I don't know that Arnold Allen has enough ability to dictate a fight against someone like Max Holloway.
Right.
And I think that Max does a really good job of slowly but surely imposing his will upon you. And his will gets bigger and stronger as time goes on. I'm picking Max. Can't exactly say I'd be shocked if Arnold Allen got it done, though.
Right. No, I agree with all that. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Allen is a dog at pass, but yeah. So I think honestly, I think we found. I think our other fights, the hidden gems, are more of a thing. We found some value with Clay Guida. I think after we talked about it, Clay Guida might have some value. And I think the undercard, I think Zaluber, Denise Gomes, but big bets on Gaston Bolanos, and I think that's our best bet together. Gaston Bolanos, then Josie Edwards and Ed Herman warrant some action, and we'll see what happens. But there's other good fights on this card. Brandon Royval and Nicolau will be action. So, yeah, I'm pumped for this card. But thanks a lot, everybody.
All right. You made it this far. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you hate us, please do all those same things. Unlike, unshare, post a thing, and then post a retraction talking about how terrible we are. Just post like, oh my God, I can't believe they would say that.
Yes.
And just don't tell them what we said. Just, these idiots. I can't believe you would say anything like that. This time and every time, thank you for being here.
Thank you.